orthopedic and pediatric care. Our physicians are each experts in their field, providing a complete spectrum of musculoskeletal care from prevention and diagnosis to treatment and rehabilitation for every part of the body in both children and adults. Our doctors are able to perform the most advanced treatment options available, including PRP therapy, stem cell, arthroscopic surgery, and microsurgery. At the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County, we are dedicated to providing a comprehensive solution to get you back to your routine as quickly as possible, in the shortest period of time, with the least amount of inconvenience. With 3 beautiful new offices located in Lake Worth, Boynton Beach, and Wellington, we are able to provide much-needed care to families in the South Florida area. Give us a call at 561-967-6500. From our experienced physicians to the most advanced treatment options to our state-of-the-art facilities and excellent support staff, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County is committed to providing you with the very best care. Call us at 561-967-6500 or find us at www.ocpbc.com.
My name is Trevor Matcham, administrator at Whitehall, Boca Raton. Whitehall is a long-term care facility that specializes in short-term rehab. We provide physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We've been in the community since the early 80s. We have a stellar therapy program. We have about 40 therapists on staff. We take care of people that might have knee surgery or hip surgery. For more information, you can give us a call at 561-392-3000 or visit us on the website at whitehallboca.com.
Talk 1470 WWNN Pompano Beach, Boca Raton, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
And now a stock market moment by Online Trading Academy.
I had a student and he was in class and they had a trading competition and I watched him make $500 in that class trading. But he had a professional trader right over his shoulder showing him what to do and how to do it.
If you're the type of person that can follow a set of rules, man, I tell you, I'd love to see you here at the Academy. There's people, their biggest concern, Blake, is I'm gonna run out of money before I hit 90.
Tired of losing money in your mutual funds or 401ks just because the stock market goes down? Since 1997, Online Trading Academy has taught over 100,000 people the right way to trade stocks, options, futures, and Forex in a real classroom setting. See for yourself how money is made in down markets at a free half-day class at Online Trading Academy. Call to reserve a seat, 561-674-9800.
The staff of Adams Discount Transmission says many lives are lost due to texting and drunk driving. So this fall, remember the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and above all, common sense. Safe and sober driving is everyone's responsibility. This message courtesy of your good friends at Adams Discount Transmissions at 2011 North Dixie Highway in Pompano Beach. Stop by for all your transmission needs or call Adam at 954-942-6789 for hours and information. Remember, stay alive, don't text and drive, and if your hand's been on the bottle, keep your foot off the throttle.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Do you have enough light in your life? Are you soaring in the joy around you? Are you stuck and unable to make life happen? Stay tuned for the Rabbi Jenny Show, where you will learn how to bask in the light and find more joy and meaning in life. Call to talk to Rabbi Jenny at 888-565-1470 and email questions and comments at rabbijenny.com. And now, if you're ready, stay tuned for the Rabbi who will light your world on fire, Rabbi Jenny.
Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. It's Rabbi Jenny. I'm so glad you're all here. I'm really excited about our topic today and just excited about the time of the year. If you're here in Florida, it's absolutely gorgeous outside. It's like something's broke and it's fall. It's like mid-70s and you just want to be outside. So it's absolutely fabulous. I want to remind you, we are live on Facebook. You can check us out on iHeartRadio. You can go to Twitter. You can go check out the Rabbi Jenny page on Facebook. And I think, there's something, Instagram, I got something like that. And then you got rabbijenny.tv. If you want, please ask me any questions. I always love to hear from you and answer any questions on the topic. There's a lot of information that comes out on the show. So feel free to always replay the show at any time and ask me any questions on the topic. That's That's what I do. I teach. Let's remind you of the two main ideas in the Rabbi Jenny Show before we get to our topic. These are actually extremely important for our topic tonight and usually are very pertinent to the topic. But the first idea is this, that the world is happening for you and not to you. And that is 100% of the time the world is happening for you and not to you. And it may appear as if it's not happening for you. It may look completely a mess on the outside, but I guarantee you it's happening for you because of what it's doing on the inside of you, what it's doing to your soul, to your spirit, how it's making you stronger because of our second idea, because you are divine source, love, light, energy. That is you. You are a piece of life, a piece of the whole. So you get to follow the same rules as everything else on the planet. And that's sort of what our topic is about. We are knee deep in the fall holiday season on the Jewish calendar, and we're right in this is my favorite. Okay, this is my favorite memory. It actually was yesterday. This is my favorite memory as a child. I lived in a small Jewish suburb of Boston, and it was a Jewish town. And I remember being a little girl marching in the street with the Torah with my grandma, and it was the most exciting time when I was a kid. It's called Simchas Torah, and it's the fourth. It's actually the fifth if you include Shemini Atzeret, but it's the fourth major one that you really know as a kid in the cycle from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur to Sukkot, and now we're at Simchas Torah. And I'm just going to explain to you, our topic today is endings and beginnings, and actually looking at your endings as a beginning. So that's what we're going to be talking about. I have a feeling there are a lot of people, because it is fall. It is the season of shedding. It is the season of letting go. Right now, the season of fall. And just like that is Simchas Torah. I just love the way everything makes a lot of sense in all of this. Like we're dealing with the rhythms of the universe and how we can find comfort and solace in knowing that for whatever we're going through, we're actually going through it with the rhythms of the moon and the tide and the seasons, and it's there to support us and help us. So what we're talking about here is making endings and beginnings, and we're using Simchas Torah because Simchas Torah actually is the celebration of finishing the reading of the Torah. Like we've spent the whole year reading it, portion by portion by portion, and then we get to the end and we say, Chazak, Chazak, V'ni Chazek, be strong, be strong, be strong, be strong, and we celebrate, and you dance and sing, and it's a very joyous holiday celebrating the end of this reading, and it's actually, in my mind, so exciting because, guess what? We're going to the beginning. In the beginning, God said, let there be light. So it's actually symbolizing something's going to be born. It's really an exciting time. How do we know that? Why is it important that we learn to look at endings that way? I think because there's a quote I have by John Irving. He wrote a really great book, The World According to Garp. I think Robin Williams was in the movie when we were all younger. He says this, you only grow by coming to the end of something and by beginning something else. And that's true. So in the cycle of life, we have to learn how to celebrate our endings so we can move forward. And how do we do that? Well, I have a few things about endings from my own life that I want to share with you. So, because I think as we get older, we get more caught up, if you want to know the truth. So I remember when I was a kid and we had summer camp. And always at the end was just like campfires and bonfires and crying and oh my God, all the friendships that we made. And we would just have all of these celebrations. So I remembered that. I remember graduations from high school, graduations from college. It's a celebration of an end and a beginning. We have celebrations for our retirement. I remember the movie Grease. Like these are all the things that came to me this week. I don't know if Grease was like a very important movie to me. With Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. I mean, this is like pinnacle. My sister and I, we had the book, the poster, we had everything, You couldn't get a VCR recording of it, so you had to go to the movies like 10 million times to see this movie. But at the beginning of the movie, you see John Travolta on the beach with Olivia Newton-John, and he looks at her and he says, this isn't the end, right? This is only the beginning. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. And then you hear the rock music and, this whole new adventure is going to begin to bring them back together again. And I think that that's such a great, funny example. So I'm going to be giving you some tools now because I do believe that there are people listening to this show today that are letting go of something. Something's ending. Okay, so these are the different things that I've thought about that can end. All right. You can end a relationship. You can end a job. You can end where you live. One of the most important things that you can end, which I think is a way of seeing things. Perhaps a way of looking at the world has just ended for you. Could be the end of immaturity. Like you could be seeing things in a completely new light, and instead of getting stuck in that, really celebrating that the person you were before anything happened would have never seen things that way. And this new vision, this new way of looking at things is what we need to move forward to. Let me see. I have some other things here. An end of an idea, a dream. It can be the end of anything. So, but I really, really feel like that's what's going on with you listeners on the show. So I set up these sort of guidelines for celebrating your ending. And I want to give you 2 things to do. So if you are listening, I want you to listen a little closer to me, because I have a couple suggestions, and I want to encourage you. I'm always giving you things to do, always giving you exercises to do when you stop listening to the Rabbi Jenny Show, so you can actually incorporate all of this into your life. And our goal today is to look at something ending in our life and rejoice and celebrate in it, so we can begin anew, so we can reach out towards our destiny, to what we have grown to receive. Okay? So you first want to say, this is one suggestion. Okay? Because it's important to have some sort of a ritual or some sort of a celebration, like Simchas Torah, like a graduation party, a retirement party, an Irish wake. Those are always really fun when someone passes. You want to celebrate, you want to have fun, you want to seal the deal. So what you want to do first is go outside. I want you to go outside. I'm always big about going outside and noticing everything. I say that all the time. But I want you to go outside and find something in nature that represents this thing that's ending. It can be anything. It can be a leaf. It can be a rock. It can be anything you see outside. And I want you to hold on to it, okay? And I want you to, as you're holding on to it, I want you to press into every single thing that you learned from this thing that's ending. And I want you to really think about it. What did you learn from this thing that's ending? Did you learn how much strength you had inside? Did you learn how big your heart is? Did you learn more compassion? Okay? Did you learn that at the other side of fear is actually Hashem or God, and that you're going to be okay? Did you learn that when you leap, the net appears, and the net is just simply your own faith and your own spirit and your own soul? So you want to hold that thing and you want to press in it. And I'm picturing a shell. So if you live near the beach, if you're in Florida, that's great. And if you live on a mountain, that's great too. You can do this in the mountain. You want to pick up a pine cone, a shell, whatever, and then press everything you learned. Because remember, this is a celebration. This is a ceremony. Now, once you've done that, I'd like you to either do 2 things. If you don't live near the beach, you can't go to the beach and throw it in the water and say thank you. That would be a really good way to seal the deal. The other thing you can do is you can bury it, and you can offer it to the earth. You can offer it to the Pachamama, the Mother Earth, and you can bury it. And you can say to the Mother Earth, take all the things I've learned. Take all these into your core and your belly and send them back up through my heels, and give me the strength to receive whatever it is you're going to send me now. Okay? So that's our first thing. So remember, you go outside and you pick up that thing in nature. Now the next one is my favorite, and this is something I actually do. I do this all the time. I do this because I have trouble with patience, okay? And my guests might have this trouble too, because we're ladies, we're all achievers on the show today. I have trouble with patience. But this next exercise really helps me, because I've learned to understand that the person I'm going to be in 6 months is not the person I am now. So whatever it is I want is worth waiting for, because it's probably going to be better, because I'm going to be better, right? So what we're going to do now, because remember, we're visualizing and we're celebrating an ending, is I would like you to think of this thing that's ending, all right? If it's a job or a relationship, and I would like you to go back to the beginning of it. I would like you to go with me now, listen to my voice, and go back to the beginning of it. What was it like when you got to that job? What was it like when you met that person? What was it like when you moved to that home? What was it like when your child was born, if they're graduating or something like that? What was it like? What were you like? How were you more afraid? What did you look like? How did you eat? How did you take care of yourself? What were you like? Like real objective, right? And then I want you to fast forward, and I want you to visualize who you are now. I really want you to sit in who you are now, and I want you to focus on all the differences that have happened. Because I guarantee you the layers and layers of beauty and strength and knowledge and wisdom become very apparent to you as you visualize it. What did you have to do maybe to even decorate that house, pay those bills? What did you have to do at that job? How did it prepare you for whatever is coming? And then I want you to sort of maybe write all those things down and become extremely aware of all of those things and how it has changed. And then you want to say, wow, it's that simple. Because when we recognize this natural progression, this natural cycle of change, of endings and beginnings, we begin to see how beautiful life is. And we don't fear those times of letting go. We don't fear those times of growth and change. We allow them to go. You know, in my work in substance abuse and in mental health, we talk a lot about grief, and we talk about the difficulty. People get stuck in grief. They get stuck in why is things changing? Why is this gotta happen? Why do people have to pass? Why this? And what happens is we get stuck in our emotions of anger, and we get stuck in those emotions, and we can't move forward. So we need the encouragement and love of this show and other people in our lives to tell us it's okay. It's always going to be a little bit painful right before things begin again. That's nature, right? It gets really, really dark out before the sun rises. You know, it's really, 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 really messy. You know, when a baby comes out, it's messy. It's really, really, really messy, you know, and this is everything. And we have to always recognize that this is the cycle we're in, and have faith and have love in all of this. So let's go through those exercises again. And remember that we're transforming our endings into beginnings through celebration and ritual in honor of Simchas Torah, Chazak, Chazak, V'ni Chazek, which we say is be strong, because this requires strength, folks. This is the big leagues. This is the big human leagues of spiritual growth. You want a big life, you want a full life, you want to light up the world, you're going to have to be strong. So here we go. So you're going to go outside, if you like this one, and you're going to grab something in nature, and you're going to press every single thing you've learned from that. And then you're going to bury it, or you are going to throw it in the ocean. If you have a God box, or if you have a sacred place at home, you can put it in there. I mean, there's no rules here with this. And then the second thing is really important, and if you just tuned in, I want you to listen to me. I want you to visualize there's something ending in your life. There's something you have to let go of. And it's most importantly, maybe the way you see yourself. Maybe it's time to let go of the way you're seeing yourself. Maybe you're seeing yourself too small, you know? So go back to the beginning, to when you started thinking that way. Maybe you got it because someone made a comment to you when you were younger, and you just started thinking small. So go all the way back there to that. And then trace yourself forward and visualize all the things you've learned up till today, all the things you've done, all the things you've accomplished, all the places you've gone, all the people you've loved, you know? And realize that way that you're seeing yourself has to go. It's time for it to go. It's time to be shed. It's time to move on, you know? This is what we do on the Rabbi Jenny Show. We learn to grow and we learn to change. We have really awesome guests today on our show. Please stay tuned. And we'll be right back talking about endings and beginnings with the two broads from Boca. Stay tuned. Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from the Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life. The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal.
It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin.
The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net. You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Hey, welcome back. It's Rabbi Jenny, and we are back with the Rabbi Jenny Show. And we're talking about Simchas Torah. We're talking about turning our endings into beginnings or learning to celebrate them and see them in a different light. And it is time to introduce our two bad mama jammas. Rabbi Jenny.
I like Mama Jamma. Bad Mama Jamma.
All right, we are here with Amy and Dawn, the two broads from Boca. The two of the most gorgeous people I've ever seen. I mean, you got to be in this. Look at them. Can you see them? Look at them. Look at them. So, Amy and Dawn are on two broads from Boca.
We are the two broads.
They are the two broads. They are the two broads from Boca, and they're on tonight. Actually, after the show at 7 o'clock on 1470 AM. They will be streaming live on Facebook. And Dawn is also on Two Boys.
Two Boys from Brooklyn.
Yes, and that's a daily show, and that's on a 12
to 1.
12 to 1, Monday through Friday on 12:30 a.m. WBZT.
Yeah, and that's a great show. I mean, they have like that booth. They took it to another level.
Got a great studio.
Story. Yeah, it was really, really cool. So we're talking, ladies, tell me what you're thinking, because you sat here for the talk about Simchas Torah and about endings and beginnings. What did it bring up for each one of you in your own lives? What's ending for you? You think what is something you can
What
start
I love
to let
that
go
you
of?
said is. In me, it's always darkest before the dawn. It gets really dark. You can get really, really sad before the sun comes up.
Yeah.
It gets really dark at night before the sun comes up. And what you said, you never know where you would be 6 months from now. And I didn't know you were going to say that. And did I not sit here before the show and said to you, I never thought 6 months ago or a year ago where I was in my life, where I would be now. And I am so grateful. And sometimes I say, gosh, am I living a dream? Because how can all of this amazing, wonderful, all these things keep coming to me? Because why and how? But I guess it was the time, and I am the better person for it now, because a year ago, I didn't know Dr. Amy. I didn't know my other co-host. I didn't know our producer, Freddie. It was just that timing. And
was there anything, like, here's a tricky question. What was going on before all this happened?
I was in a different career path. Totally different.
And how was
And
ending
we didn't
that?
even know each other ever.
What was the career path?
Ending that, I ran my dad's pediatric practice.
Okay.
So I've been in pediatrics for years and years. So for 12 years, I ran his practice. And it was a very slow process of ending. And it needed to end.
Right.
It was him letting go of that ending. And because it was my father, I could never leave that job until he was ready to end that job. Because I would never.
Wow.
So when he was ready, it was time to close it. And then I thought, now what? Now I've done this for 12 years. My kids are out of the house and my children are raised. Talk about dark.
Yeah.
Now what do I do? And oh my gosh, what am I going to do? A lot of praying, a lot of meditation, a lot of tears. You know, a lot of that sadness of now what?
The dark, the dark night.
There was literally an aha moment. I think of Oprah and I think of you going, those really exist.
Yeah.
Like that aha moment was really, this is what I'm going to do. And that was before even this. But that path of becoming a health coach and giving forward to everything I had learned and putting it all, wrapped it up in a nice little box of health and wellness for children and families, then brought me here.
And I'm sure
these
the
platforms.
package was put together through all the years working with your dad and all the years being a mom.
Right.
Right?
And PTA.
Makes like a lot of sense.
And a
right?
special ed teacher and all of the health things that I did. And everyone said, put together what you love. And I thought, but I love so many things. How am I going to put this in one? And I remember crying, like some days just going, what am I going to do? Why am I getting out of bed the next day? Until you have that moment, that clarity, and you say, I can do that. And now, a year later, everything is so incredible.
Oh, it's really amazing. What about you, Miss Dr. Amy?
Well, for me, I decided after 10 years of being home that it was time for me not to be home. So I gradually went back to practice first. I started in home care, and I'm a nurse practitioner, so I wasn't able to do my full capacity. And then from home care, I decided to go into teaching. Because, again, I had to work around my children because I still had to be, mommy extraordinaire. And I have a husband that doesn't have a 9 to 5. So I had to be the stable one. So I decided to go back into teaching. And at that point, I met someone there. And she had said to me, we can't stay at this place forever. It's not good for us. She said, while we're here, let's go to school.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, let's
That's a
go to
gift.
school. So we decided to go back and start our doctorate.
That's a very scriptural moment.
It was. It
like
was really
bumping into the angel by the well.
Seriously, we had never met each other. It seems to be a trend, a theme in my life. And so we decided, we met in August, and we enrolled in school for September, and we both got our doctorates at the same time. She's still going. She's got a year left.
Wow.
And I got my doctorate, and she left, I left, and we wound up working at the same place again, years apart.
Wow.
And then I had met another friend of mine. We had talked. She goes, well, what do you want to do with your life? I said, well, I don't know. I said, I have so much knowledge. I want to share it with my life, about all the things I learned. And she said, I have somebody I want you to meet. I think you have the same goals.
Wow.
We met at Brooklyn Water Bagels, and we had coffee. We didn't eat. We had coffee. And
no carbs for the two of us.
And then
no carbs
are not our friends, although I've never met a carb I didn't like. And then she and I, 2 weeks later, were on the air.
Wow. So I never met Dr. Amy.
Nope.
And a mutual friend. So I was a health coach. I got my health coaching degree for children and families. So I thought, all right, nice little package. My girlfriend said, I want you to meet Amy. She just got her DNP, or Doctor of Nursing Practice. I think you guys will work well together. Your husbands are similar professions. You come from it the same but yet different. I had no idea.
No.
Like, I had maybe 2 clients. I didn't know what she was doing. She says to me, I've got so much information. I want to be on radio.
Wow.
That's what I said. I think
really?
I want to be on the radio.
She says, I want to be the radio. I want to share women's health.
Wow.
And I went, all right.
Well, and if you meet them, audience, it's like they've known each other their whole life.
And we fight like we know each other our whole life.
And I said, all right,
those are the best friendships, though. I mean, some of my
we're very
recent
honest
friendships
with each
are like
other.
that.
No, we are. We don't fight. I was teasing, but we do have our moments where I like that we can be like that with each other. I think that's important. I really do.
Where do you see people having the most difficulty in endings? Where have you encountered that? Maybe even in healthcare.
I think it's the fear of anything. It's the fear of
what's going to happen.
It's the fear of the unknown. Sometimes it's better to be miserable in that fear. It's not better. But you think you're comfortable and you understand that fear. You may not like it. But to take that next step to bridge it,
scary.
What do you do? I mean, I see it with my daughter who's, looking to see what her next step is. It's hard.
Yeah.
Because you get so comfortable, but yet you're not comfortable enough to stay. You want to grow. You want to keep. I have visualized the balloon going up and up, and then someone keeps pulling your string.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
But I also think you've experienced this too with your health coaching and with even patients in the pediatric office. When you deal with people who need to have a new beginning and just
resist.
I don't think they just
don't know what to do.
Don't know what to do next.
And they don't think they do.
There's a void, though. I will say that just like in Torah, we have to stop and celebrate before we begin reading again. There is a void that Dawn touched on with that dark night where you have to sit in the empty space. Like you do have to sit between the two things. And I think that's the most difficult thing to to accept.
Yes.
You know, and that just because you're in between, they say like one door opens, one door closes, another one opens, but the hallway stinks. I always say decorate the hallway, put some shag carpet in it, put a chair, bring some good books. You know, like you're going to be there.
It's true. It's not
exactly.
Getting to the other side is easy. It's getting through it that's hard.
And knowing that void is actually good news. You know, I'm going through something like that in my life where I recently almost feel like I'm behind a piece of glass and everyone's on the other side in a certain area of my life. And I've been dealing with my own teachers and saying, they're like, well, you're just being moved. You know, you're just literally being moved and nobody knows but you. And so just take it. Yeah, just getting a little in a different space. But it's like nobody knows but you. But own it. Like, own what you feel, own what you know, and recognize that you've been there before.
But I think a lot of times people are so afraid to own it or feel it because they're afraid of how it's going to affect everybody else around them.
No, that's just because you have a compassionate heart.
I do.
And you're a mom and you've got kids. So even when you talk about divorce, which we were talking about a break, you're comfortable, you have your children and your spouse, but it's not working anymore. So you stay together for whatever reasons. Mommy and daddy are great parents, but you just don't work well together. We talked about this on Two Boys. So what's the next step? But you care because they're your children and you care how it affects everyone else. There are people that jump from one to another and say, you know what, this is for me.
For me. Yeah, there's people who do that. I actually know that intimately.
I have a friend who went through a divorce and she said to her children, Mommy needs to be happy too.
Yes.
And I was appalled at that. I'm like, how can you say that to them? Because it's true.
I have to tell you, in my own life, my son, you know, sees my ex-husband, I never fought. We're best friends.
Right.
You know, biggest grief is that he's not around for that reason, nothing else, believe me. But my son loves it because both of us are exactly where we're supposed to be. We were like writing, my brother-in-law said we were writing 2 different books. You know, and trying to write them together, but it was actually 2 different books. And my son knows it. Like, he's like, oh, I can go over here and write this book with mommy, and she's happy, and I can go over here. And kids know.
Oh, I agree.
You know? And they're going to do what you do, and I would never want my son to stay where he's not happy.
Right. You need to set that role model. Mommy and daddy, everyone should be happy as they can.
I agree. And I do say that. And I always say to my friends, don't stay in your situation if you're not happy, because you're teaching your kids that that's what love is, and that's not what love is.
We're going to talk about that when we get back. We're going to stay tuned. We're talking about how to embrace our endings or our changes and our growth in our life with the 2 broads from Boca. Stay tuned to the Rabbi Jenny Show. We'll be right back.
This is the end.
The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin. The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from The Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life.
You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
It's Rabbi Jenny. We are back with the two broads from Boca, Dr. Amy and Dawn. Dr. Amy and, what can we call you, Dawn? Like
Dawn,
Sugar
Tony
Dawn.
Orlando,
Lady D. Lady D. Lady D. And we are talking about endings and beginnings in Simchas Torah and what we can do to celebrate the endings and beginnings of life. And this is where we're going to get a little, I want to get a little personal. Like, I want to push through everyone else's stuff. I love to do this on my show. And, I want to know, what are you letting go of now, Dawn?
Amy. Dawn?
Dawn, you go
That's
first.
good.
I like
what
that.
am I letting go of?
What is something you want? You know what? Let's do it. Let's do the thing that I just told everybody in the beginning of the show. Let's the three of us do that. What do you want to let go of now? What do you want to celebrate ending?
What I celebrate ending is letting go of feeling the insecurities that I can't and knowing that I can, and the feeling of people don't listen to me because now I have 50,000 people listening to me every day. So when I say nobody ever listened to me, you know what? There's a lot of people listening.
And when did you start thinking that way?
That there are a lot of people listening?
No, the other way. Remember,
and I think back to when you said when in the beginning of the show is, what was it growing up that people don't listen? It was, I don't know, maybe the empowerment of people around me. I was shy and quiet and introverted. So I was much more of a watcher. And I always sit back and go, you know what, I'm going to take it all in and I listen. I remember the rabbi said a couple years ago, God gave you 2 eyes and 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Look twice as much, listen twice as much, say half as much. So that's always in my head. And even on our shows when I interview, I always want to listen to what they say.
Yes.
And react versus speak and have them react. Because it's more important to bring forward what our guests have to say and share them than it's not about me.
Well, and it's more in the moment.
Yes.
And you never know what people are going to say. That's the greatest part about radio.
And I
think.
say that
It's so
all the
fun.
time. You never know what somebody's story is, why they are where they are. But like you said, if you can identify it, whatever that reason is. But it's funny how things change. So and I would say, no one listens to me. Now there's a lot of people listening.
So we're shedding no one listens to me.
Right.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's gone. And how many things did you have to do along the way to be listened to? What was it like managing a pediatric practice? I'm sure every single person on that staff had to listen to you. And
It was the
patients had
staff.
to listen
Well,
to
the
you.
patients are fabulous. The children are amazing. The families, everyone's there for the betterment of their children.
Right.
But, fighting the business, the bureaucracy of government, of Medicaid, of insurance companies, and always having that fight. Who wants to go to work every day and fight?
But you found your voice.
I found my voice, and now I can go to work every day and not fight, but have a voice for the betterment of people.
Yeah.
And sharing that.
I do think there's something about that sparring, though, that working out that you do at those jobs, because you learn that
Literally sparring, working out.
Yeah, but
does
you
that
literally I think, and if in my second book, Ahavatar, I talk about sparring partners, and they come into our life to work us out. And I think that some of our jobs are literally, that's all they're there to do. And then we move on as soon as we've gotten that power and we come to a place where we're, everyone's listening to us. So
Everyone's
that's
listening.
a good one.
In
All
the expo. But even people come into your lives, what you said, think about, you came into my life just a few months ago and how that came to be. And people come into your life, and I've known Freddie for years and years, and it was never the right time. And for 3 years, come on my show, host my show. No. Finally, I meet Dr. Amy, and she said, I want to be on radio. And I go, wait, I know somebody.
That's just what she said to me. I think I know somebody that
and I
can help
texted him,
us.
I said, can we meet? Can we talk? And here we are.
And, I think that it's knowing that those moments will happen, like that you're divinely led, that you're divinely connected, which is what I love about Torah. Like, if you really look at the stories in the Torah in that way, and that they really are telling the story of journeys, and that divine is always kind of there guiding this cycle all the way through, that's very much like our own lives. Like, the prophets show up when they're supposed to, the moment you're exactly ready for it. Like, it's that precise, the moment your energy was ready for Dr. Amy and you could come together, and it was just magic. So, Dr. Amy, what are you letting go of today?
I think I have finally come to the realization. I don't know if I'm quite ready to let it go.
Oh, goodness.
But
Okay,
the
here she goes.
realization that I cannot be less than who I am.
Okay, explain.
Because I want to be the best mom, and I want to be the best wife, and I want to be the best friend, and I want to be the best daughter or sister. And then there's nothing left for me.
You're not even the oldest, right?
No.
See?
So
you're a perfectionist.
Yeah, little anal retentive issues.
The Virgo. It's the Virgo. It's the Virgo.
But I think I have to understand that I need to matter. Mm-hmm. When we first did this show in the beginning, it was, like, wow, this is cool and all, but oh my God, I'm out of the house on Wednesday nights, and who's going to, how are they going to eat, and why am I, I'm usually there making dinner, and who's going to help them with homework, and then, my husband had to sit down to me and say, they're old enough,
okay.
and I'm capable, and it's not that you don't think that anybody can do it, they just can't do it as well as you can, or the world is, and I got to learn to understand that I got to let go, and I got to let me live a little bit,
So if you don't, let's see, if you matter, then what was the old idea?
Oh, it's like I come last.
Okay. Because this is what we're doing on the show. Okay, so if you're listening, I want you to find this thing you want to let go of, because this is
I want to
There's a lot of courage
last.
on this show.
I don't want to be last anymore.
I don't want to be last.
I don't want to be part of the agenda. I want to be the agenda.
There you go.
This is what I'm talking about.
I said that from a man.
Write your agenda.
No, but it's true. I don't want to be part of somebody's agenda. I want to be their agenda.
Right.
I want to be my own agenda. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
I think that's a thing, particularly I think with women, that we kind of always take that back seat because, well, it's the kids and it's the husband, and you swallow your light. I don't want to swallow my light anymore.
Well, and the world's shifting too, because I think some of this is, ideology, and some of it is that we're shifting it. Ladies like us are actually shifting.
You know that I'm into the whole women thing.
But we're shifting the way people actually see women's capabilities at all. And so, like, as far as investment or sponsorship or money, there's that whole idea of women's relationship with money too. Like, we have to get the money from the man.
Why?
I was raised that way.
Right.
Were you raised? I was. That was very traditional patriarchy.
Guess how I was raised. My mother said, you make sure you always have that little pushki with you. You make sure you always have that little bit in your wallet, because you never know.
My mother said those things. Here's the thing. My mother said, never count on a man, go to college, get a career, do your life. But she didn't do that.
See, mine did.
And I believe that your kids do what you do. Like, I grew up extremely traditional as far as, like, my mother was very dependent on my father.
No,
Like,
I can't say that.
No.
Although I grew up very traditional home, my dad was in a business where it was sometimes really good and sometimes not. So my mom worked full time.
Wow.
And there were 4 daughters. So we all had to pull our weight, and she was
that's awesome.
Very cool. And my dad, being an older Italian guy, he was like, I don't want you dependent on anybody.
Yeah.
My mother used to say the same thing,
I
you
think
tell them
that's
the curtains are
wonderful.
$20. You if the curtains are $20, you tell them it's $25, and you keep that $5
you
for
go.
yourself. Always said that, and she always had that little cushion.
Right.
But honestly, like, that's manipulative.
It
I
is.
think as women, we were taught that we had to do it that way.
Yeah.
That we couldn't be straight shooters, that it was always like some sort of an angle. And I don't think any of us at this table right here come from any kind of angle.
No. Which is why but think about the 3 of us sitting here.
Yeah.
Right.
The empowerment of the Rabbi Jenny show. And what we bring to our show as 2 broads, and it's the empowerment, how we live
Exactly.
stream the Women Empower Expo, and all of these amazing women coming forward, because you know what? They are the agenda.
Exactly.
But they're not only their agenda for them, they're the agenda to empower other women. So if we can all sit here and work together, and then we have Bree coming between us and help empower and bring
It's a
the
chick
light
fest.
out.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
definitely
hug a tree night.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
and it's like, and for myself, I find much pride. They always say I don't want to raise my daughters like my men. We want to raise our sons like our daughters. Like I actually, in my own work, I think that it's a chick fest, but I do think it's that the male energy on the planet needs to look towards female leadership without any kind of old ideas anymore. That it's just, this is a different,
Absolutely.
different way to look at things, that it's actually healthy and safe to rely upon the advice and the guidance of a female
You
in
have
power.
a son. You have a son. I have 2 sons. And I always tell them, remember, your mother is a girl. Think before you speak. Would you want somebody to speak to your mother that way? And they look at me like, like I never thought of it that way. Even the simple thing, because they're young yet, they're 15 and 13. I said, if a girl ever tells you that they love you or they think you're cute or they like you, I said, you know how hard it is for somebody to say that? I said, don't you ever laugh or make your friends laugh at them. I said, because think about it. That could be your mother saying that to somebody.
But think about taking it one step further when your husband talks to his mother or someone's husband speaks
I
to their
agree.
mother and it's not as caring as it should be. Honey, you know what? How would you like it if our son ever spoke to me that way? Do you think
those
that,
words have been spoken.
Do you think that is, but I'm frustrated.
Right.
But now your mother is 70-something and you know what? She's not where she is and understand her situation now. So we can take it one step further because we do bring as much to the table,
even
just
better,
different.
How
Yeah,
your
I think
husband
so.
speaks to
Different.
you.
Well,
Or
I
your
think-
mate speaks to you.
Always
And I
frame them
think
that
I think it's beyond their own homes. Like I think it's just in general,
sure.
it's switching the whole idea. I mean, we see it with the election, we see it with what's going on in the world. That we really do live in the least forward-thinking country in those ways. We're very traditional, puritanical values in this country, and some of them are good. Some of them are our strengths. And so this is a whole other show. I'm like feeling a whole other show, and
We have
it's
so
gonna.
many shows.
Yes, we have so
These
many shows.
broads
So
will do
before we go
that.
to break, you guys will hang out for the last segment with the jam and everything. But remind everybody, how do we find the 2 broads from Boca and the 2 boys? Let the listeners know all your information.
2 broads from Boca tonight, right here on 1470 AM, 7 o'clock to 7:30. Also on your iHeartRadio app. We are also going to be live streaming on 2 broads from Boca on our Facebook page, as well as 2broadsfromboca.com on our website. And tune into 2 boys from Brooklyn
about
and
Periscope?
on.
And Periscope.
Periscope, I'm not sure if that's up yet. If it is, it's on. If you want to find us, it might be on Periscope
all
on
gonna be
AMP2
on Periscope.
TV.
Yeah, that's
it's
gonna
not
be
on our
cool.
personal pages yet. 2 Boys from Brooklyn and Dawn airs Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock on 1230 AM WBZT. And you can always find us on AMP2 TV Productions live streaming, like all of our shows.
This is Rabbi Jenny. We'll be right back with the Jenny Jam, the Ridiculous Joy Jar, talking about endings and beginnings. Stay tuned.
This is the end, my only friend.
The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from The Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life. The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin.
You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back. It's Rabbi Jenny. We are talking about endings as beginnings. We're talking about learning how to let go of who you used to be to become who you are. And it is time now for our ridiculous joy jar challenge.
Joy, 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 joy. It's Adeline Gobergstein, and it's time for the Rabbi Jenny Ridiculous Joy Jar Challenge.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny. Who's on the air?
This is Erica Obando.
Hi, Erica. What's up?
I'm doing wonderful. I've been watching you guys. Hi, Dawn, and hi, Dr. Amy. You guys are really enlightening. I'm loving this.
We're having fun.
You should see all her comments.
So tell me, Erica, what are the 10 things you are ridiculously joyful for?
I am ridiculously joyful for vacationing alone, or making a difference.
Here.
Yeah, enlightening others. Let's see, regrouping my thoughts. I love that one. Meditative artwork. That helps out a lot.
That's nice.
Jeeping, mudding, creating something new. And volunteering. I don't know what number I'm at right now, but
I think we're on like 6. Let's give you 4 more. I want to hear 4 more.
Okay, so let's see, volunteering, creating something new. I love, mentoring people. I love to be able to give something back. And a selfish thing that I love to do is photography. I absolutely love to travel around the state to do different types of photography.
Wow. Are you an artist, Erica?
I am. I'm a self-taught artist. I kind of found out that I was able to paint and draw and create art. One day that I was just not feeling my best, and the next thing you know, I was drawing, and now I paint.
That is awesome. What would you like to promote today on the Rabbi Jenny Show?
I actually was on there yesterday, and I have a company called Design Your Life of Purpose, and what I do is I help women and entrepreneurs try to find their footing into social media and marketing in today's world, because a lot of people created their businesses and their empires, and they looked up and one day there was the internet, and how the new people, how people now communicate. So I consult businesses and entrepreneurs to get themselves ready for their business in today's world.
That is awesome. What is your website?
It's www.designyourlifeofpurpose.com or Erica Obando, that's with a K.com.
Wonderful. Erica Obando. Okay, my dear. Well, Erica, thank you so much for calling into the Rabbi Jenny Show. And everybody check out Design Your Life of Purpose with Erica. And have a joyful night, my dear.
You did too. Much luck to all of you. I'm enjoying the show a lot.
Oh, great. Thanks, Erica, for calling in.
Thank you. All right, take care.
All right, that was awesome. Well, it's time now. I think we're going to have to do it because I think I got a lot to share at the last part of the show tonight. So we're just going to go for the Jenny Jam right now. We're doing hip-hop.
Jam!
Yeah, we are.
Jam!
Just a little bit. Going traditional. The time has come, you've reached your goal. The end is near and you can say that what you had was quite a love. But now it's time to make your way. The sun, it sets, the day will close as night spreads out upon you now. The stars, they call unto your soul. New dreams will open up, say loud. Chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek. Chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek. Sing it in your car. Chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek. Be strong. You got to celebrate and glorify the journey that you've traveled on, the lessons that you learned and why, the pain that you unraveled on. Chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek. Chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek. Chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek. Be strong. I had to do that one more time because it's making me feel good. Ready? Chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek. Do a little ch, like a good Jewish. Chazak, chazak, v'zi chazek. I'm saying wrong. Chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek. Be strong. For those of you who just joined us on the Rabbi Jenny Show, I'm saying chazak, chazak, v'ni chazak, which is strong, strong, be strong. And we say that at the end of every book, after we finish every book in the Torah, but we also say it now, today, because it's yesterday, it's Simchas Torah, celebrating the ending. And it's really important that we shout it. It's like, be strong, be strong, be strong. Something new is beginning, a new phase, a new thing. We are talking about transforming your endings into beginnings, and this is my very last chance this week to light you up. So we are going to remind you of the 2 exercises and all that we talked about today, and I want you to go into them. And if you have just joined me, I want you to really let yourself go into them, because I really, really feel in my heart, in my soul, in my mind, that there are people listening to this show today that need to let go, and the universe, the moon, the fall, the leaves, they're supporting you in letting something go in your life so you can begin new and begin again. It doesn't have to be a person, place, or thing. It can simply be, as our guest described today, a way you see yourself, a viewpoint. We're going to let that stuff go. We're going to get bigger and brighter and bolder, and we're going to just love ourselves a lot more. So these 2 exercises are 2 exercises I can recommend, ceremonies of things that you can do to actually physically acknowledge the ending and move forward in celebration, much like a graduation or retirement party or a wake, and move forward into the newness of your life. The first one is this. You're always going to go outside on the Rabbi Jenny Show because you know I love the Pachimam. I love the Mother Earth. Get out there. Get out there. Find something in nature, a leaf, a flower, a shell, a rock, something that represents the thing in your life that you are letting go of. If you don't want to feel small, pick up a pebble. Okay, or maybe pick up a really big rock. That'd be good too. But if you want to let go of feeling small, and you hold that, and I want you to hold that thing in nature, that leaf, that flower, that rock, and I want you to blow into it. I want you to pray into it. I want you to talk into it. Every single thing that you learned from that thing that you thought or saw or thing or person, place or thing or job or house or town or wherever it is that you're letting go of, and everything you learn, and really give yourself the time to think about this, because, we don't give ourselves enough time for ceremony and celebration of our own journey. And that's really what the Jewish faith is about, is marking our journeys throughout the year and celebrating each change and shift. So we want to blow that in there. Okay. And then we want to do 2 things. If you live near the beach, you can go right up to the shore and you can just throw it into the ocean. You can go into Mayim B'Sison, throw it into the water and send it in and let it absolve into the ocean and dissolve and release into the air and be magical, and you will transform. I swear, I promise. Okay, the next thing is you can bury it. I'm a really big believer in burying it. You offer it, you bury it, you just dig a hole. If you just use a spoon, you have a spoon, you go outside, you can dig a hole in your yard and just bury whatever it is. And with the intention, I'm sending this into the earth. I'm sending it into the earth. I'm saying, goodbye. I'm going to allow the energy of that to dispel and good energy to come up into my feet and into my soul and into my heart to transform. And that is a ceremony, a celebration. You can eat some ice cream. You can buy yourself some flowers. There's no limit on the celebration of this moment. The next exercise is really, really important. It's something I do regularly in my life because my life is always shifting and growing, changing, just like everyone else's. But I'm conscious and I love to teach you. So I really try to do some of the stuff I talked to you about. And this is visualization, visualizing the actual moments of my changes and the actual possibilities of what's coming next. So I want you to visualize if there's something you're letting go of, like let's say it's a job and you know that it's time to move on from the job. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go back to the moment you got hired. Go back to the person, the man or woman you were when you got hired. And I want you to go to all of the things. What were you wearing? I mean, did you walk tall? Did you stand up straight? What skills did you learn on this job? Did you learn to delegate? Did you learn the computer? Did you learn to say no? Okay? Whatever you learned on this job, I want you to really get into detail on it. All right? And then I want you to look at yourself now. So you're looking at yourself then and you're looking at yourself now. And then I want you to have a little bit of a wow party. All right? And when I say a wow party, I just want you to celebrate it. I just want you to sit, enjoy, and revel in that visualization of who you are now. And that you would have never, ever, ever been that person if you didn't experience that job. But you've outgrown it. You're bigger. There's more coming in your life. And there's always more coming because the world's happening for you and not to you. Because you're divine love, light, energy, and you're always expanding. And we've loved having you today. We've loved having the two broads from Boca. I want to remind you of our caller, Erica, and Design Your Life of Purpose. You want to check her out. Also want to remind you of Epiphany Resources, our sponsors. Thank you so much. And we want to remember For the Children. You go to forthechildren.org and forthechildrenfirst.org and give a nice donation. There's so many people to thank. But you want to play this one again. There was a lot of fun convo, and you want to let go. Let it end. Let it go. Let the leaves fall. We need some new green leaves soon. Well, maybe a few months from now. We got a little winter coming. All right, it's Rabbi Jenny. Love you. Keep shining. Bye-bye.
You have been listening and lighting up your life with Rabbi Jenny. Join us next week for another session of love, light, and joy as Rabbi Jenny takes life to the next level. Are you ready? Rabbi Jenny says the time is now. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
This is Talk 1470. WNN.